When we stumbled into RankUp, it was a no-brainer. Already, like, the impact came around like the first month. We start getting like leads, and we're currently like feeding the pipeline with this. Same as programmers have tools like Cloud Code and Cursor. It's like marketers that do like search have like RankUp.
Right. Hello, everyone. My name is Georg. I'm the co-founder of RankUp, and I'm here with one of our customers, with the co-founder of Guardian, Alonso. So I'll have Alonso briefly tell a little about his business and what they do, and then I'll get his feedback on basically his experience with RankUp, and just to see what he thinks. So Alonso, could you please introduce a little bit about Guardian?
Yeah, so Guardian is a privacy-first monitoring company. We cover the elderly care sector, but also expanding into multiple other areas of care. For us, we think that most of the work that's going to happen is going to be enabled through like some sort of system with AI and smart sensors. That way, for instance, caregivers can focus on, doing their job and taking care of more people. And this is something that's a big problem coming in the world. And there's going to be, there is currently a shortage of workers in the care sector. And so this is a way to make them more efficient and to make also elderly live independent for longer at home, while still having, like, for example, a professional caregiver, attending them and them not being like only cared by their families, which sometimes, it's something that happens, but it's way better to have, like, for example, a professional caregiver for some situations where you actually need it. And so that's what we're doing. And yeah.
Okay. So, as I mentioned before, Alonso and Guardian are users of RankUp as well. And so I guess my first question in terms of to get your feedback on your experience is, why did you start using RankUp, I guess?
Yeah. So I think the answer to this is very easy. We wanted to acquire more customers, and we wanted to do multiple channels. And while evaluating the channels, we found search. And we couldn't build a SEO team or GEO team or whatever you want to call it, because we are a startup. So a startup cannot build a team, and also a founder cannot do it manually from scratch, because we're literally like two people, two core founders working. We use some freelancers, but like we don't actually like have the time to actually do it. And it would take a lot of like learning as well, do the whole process manually and actually do it well. And so when we stumbled into RankUp, it was a no-brainer. I mean, for us, like just paying this amount that we pay was like a really good way of like already going like with a lot of intensity towards a channel with a really like affordable budget. And so we just like went for it. And considering like how much you can spend as a startup for like starting a new channel, it was like quite good. And already like the impact came around like the first month. We start getting like leads, and we're currently like feeding the pipeline with this. So this is one of our main channels, and constantly growing, and I think it's something that that compounds like really well. And that's why we picked organic search. It was because people search like with AI, right? But in certain industries like ours, like people still use search a lot, and so we want search methods that are like wide to be the ones that were found. We're not just like optimizing for like AI search because we think that normal search is gonna be dead, but we think that people are going to find us in many search methods, and whatever like search method they use with the right questions that are relevant to us, they're going to be able to find us. And so that's kind of the goal with it. And that's why we picked RankUp.
Okay. And before you started using RankUp, I guess, you evaluated as search being one of the channels you want to use, right, for growing your company. Did you try anything else as well? Doesn't maybe even have to be SEO in terms of like getting leads? And I guess, what did you guys do before? I mean, I assume maybe you guys are, you have made quite far with your company, and you're very active and talented founders. So I guess, did you do anything before? Did you try anything? Or if you could tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So before we were targeting like more business to consumer, and with this market, we did a lot of like organic social media marketing, and it didn't really work well for us. I mean, especially we did it in Estonia, and we got people into our website, and the conversion was not great. We couldn't capture real people with the actual intent of buying, and I think this was like a problem. This was beyond just like a marketing problem. It was like a business model problem. But now with this new business model, I think like doing something like what we did with social media, it's not going to be as impactful as investing in search, because search is very intentional, and you get the right people at the right time when they're like looking for a solution to their problem. And with social media, it's more like you catch them maybe in this time and maybe not. You're gonna get a lot of people there that are like in a way decoys. Like they don't really like, or they don't really want to buy your product, or they are never ever gonna buy your product because they're just not like a persona that would even buy the product. Yeah. And so the chances of having the exact right person come to your website that would be like the core buyer for like something like as niche like as a B2B elderly care monitoring platform, then search is the way to get these people there. And even in search, you're gonna see like from the people that come in, you're gonna see a lot just like come and go, and that's completely normal because even with the intent, there's people searching for other things that are gonna click thinking they can find something, and they don't, and they leave. But it's fine, because if eventually you can hit these specific targets, and in an industry where the value of acquiring a customer is quite high, and it's fine because the ticket's gonna be high, they're gonna be high retainers with like year-long contracts. Then I think search kind of can capture these people. It's kind of a way to make it massive. So let's say you have cold calling, right? Cold calling, you can go massive with cold calling, but it's a bit harder. But then with search, it's like a way from the get-go to go like massive and still be like very targeted to the intent.
Okay, so now you've been using RankUp for about 3 months or so, and you've created, I counted before we started this, about 55 blogs and like landing pages, right? Using RankUp. Content pieces, yeah. So what has been the kind of effect of using, I guess like what I've understood is you've enjoyed using it, right? But in terms of like business effect, what has that been now for these first 3 months for Guardian?
Well, definitely like it has been like leads, right? But also like more people landing in the website, and a better authority overall. I mean, already with like simulating some searches, see ourselves like in these AI suggestions and like on top of the pages, and like competing with like very big brands in certain like search terms. And for us, this is important because we want to invest like in the long run, and we don't care if like, let's say today a lead doesn't land, but like are we increasing like our likelihood of like more leads landing? And if the answer is yes, and it's quite obvious, then it's just like making sense, right? With these kinds of things, like I think there's a misconception in the market. This kind of, you go to these tools and they will do like magic for you, and they will figure out everything for you. And in the first month, you're gonna get results, and it's like proportionate the amount that you pay the first month to the amount of like value you're gonna get directly. And that's not true. The truth is a bit more like volatile. Like the first month you might get like no leads, but then the second month you get some, and then eventually, like if you have a great growth trajectory, you're gonna have months where it's just gonna pay like 10x or 20x off. What you pay for like subscription with these services. It's just like non-linear. Same as when you hire like a team of like people to do marketing. Like it's not linear. They first come in, they figure out like what's your business, like how are you gonna like promote some of your products, like how are you gonna put it out there and convince people that this is a good product for them, and then they do the content and they try to figure out what works, and then when what works is figured out and you start seeing results, this is like later, and I think people have like way much more normalized like paying for like building a team. rather than, paying for SaaS, because they think SaaS is like, oh, this is just software, this is like not necessarily valuable. But if you actually think about it, the outcome is the same. So it's more about like how do you reach to that outcome, and not much about like what's the means to reaching that outcome. And especially if you can do it with a smaller team, and like as like the underdog, like get to actually like win, get some results, then that's really cool.
Okay, final question. Based on now that you've had experience actually like using RankUp, right? You've used it for like a proper amount of time. You've seen results, and you've actually like you see the value of it, right? Who do you think is RankUp best for?
Yeah, I would say like number one, founders. Like founders with startups, let it be like on any of the like initial rounds. It can be like. It can be like bootstrap founders as well. You would need the capital to, pay for it, but still like, some bootstrap companies, they do have that because they have like some first customers or some like personal money invested. You can have like angel invested startups also, even like pre-seed or like seed startups that they just like are they have so many other core areas of focus. They want to add like one more channel, or they want to like improve the performance of this channel. If they already have it, I think RankUp is very well fitted for them. And then after that, probably for like other marketing companies. I mean, I see it as like an opportunity also for other marketing companies to like provide value. As you're like an agency and you can also use it. But mainly, I would say like founders and entrepreneurs and like companies that really wanna like add this channel or like already have this channel and wanna like enhance it in some way, like let's say make more content pieces with like less amount of like team. And you don't need to fire your team if you already have a team. It's more like you can like make them more like powerful basically with it, same as programmers have tools like Cloud Code and Cursor. It's like marketers that do like search have like RankUp. And in that sense, this is really useful for getting to these like hockey stick growths that startups need. And of course, we're only like in the 3-month range. It's all like departed to the future, like what's going to happen with our search, but it all points out it's going to go like hockey stick as well. So in that sense, you have to kind of trust the process, and there's no like magic way of reaching like in the first month. And anyone that is like a founder knows that, and knows that every single like channel they invest into, it's still like completely a possibility that it fails. And so if you come with that mindset that let's put it for the long run, let's see like what's working, what's not, let's like iterate and build something that's gonna be like long term, then I would say RankUp is kind of the best fit.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, that was Alonso's feedback. And I mean, with Alonso, Alonso's going to continue working or using RankUp. We're going to also we've been fairly hands-on with you guys as well in terms of support and feedback. That's very important. That's why I'm also doing these kinds of interviews with our users. So Alonso, I really appreciate it for being a user and for trusting us. And I think, like you said, we're working towards more hockey sticks to come for Guardian search. And thank you very much. Hey, what's up? It's Georg here. So if you also want to get AI to sell your product for you and ultimately get more leads and sales from AI search and from Google as well, right? Like Alonso mentioned, it's still possible to do that. Go check out the agentic SEO team we have built. Basically, this is a team of AI agents that handle your SEO and geo as well nowadays, right? And we've built it especially for SaaS startup SEO, right? So it handles everything from strategy to writing to continuous improvement of the content, and we're adding a bunch of new things like outreach AI agents to get more third-party mentions, right? We're also adding our own AI search monitoring, which is going to be the best out there, and a ton of content repurposing. A lot of things are coming, and the team is getting more and more refined by the day. And but Alonso also got already great results just using the content team, right? Imagine what you could do with all of that. So if you also want to get results like Alonso, then I'll add the link to the RankUp website in the description below. So you can go check out our agentic SEO team, how it works. And you can also try it for just $25. So it's literally less than a takeout. So it doesn't cost you nothing. And and if you want to, go big time and go serious with it, then you can book a call with us and with me or my co-founder. We're both SEOs ourselves, and we can help you get like a plan set to do that. But yeah, you can also, if you take the trial, then you can also just go ahead with yourself as well. We'll also, like our agents will also propose a plan for you, which makes the most sense for your content creation. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. All the best and see you next time.